Turn it up.
And welcome to today's show. Today we're at Peninsula Total Tackle, the #1 tackle shop on the peninsula, don't you reckon, mate?
That's it, mate, and there was a couple of peninsulas in there.
There was a couple of peninsulas there, absolutely. Now, mate, you've been down to Portland, I believe.
Yeah, last couple of weeks I've been fishing down there with good mate Red Eye on his 40-foot lures, so the fishing's been pretty hard going, mate.
Tell us about the boat, or the vessel.
Fantastic boat. Chris brought the boat in about 4 months ago now, purchased it from America, American-made vessel, 40 foot of just pure heaven. One of the best boats I've been on. We actually fished on the same boat in Vanuatu a couple of years ago.
Oh, okay.
And that's where I think Red Eye got the bug for the lures. And hence now he's got it down in the new marina in Portland. So it's been nice easy drive down to Portland, not having to tow a boat, jumping on the boat, no accommodation needed. It's just fantastic. Great way to go fishing.
So tell us a bit about how many people does this vessel hold?
Well, you can sleep 5 people on it quite comfortably. You could even sleep 6 or 7 if you really wanted to, but 5's nice and comfortable on the boat. You could fish up to 6 or 7, once again, quite comfortably. You've always got one bloke in the flybridge.
Yep. On
the wheel, so that's really, with a crew of 5, you're putting 4 on the deck. You get a triple hookup, you've got one bloke to clear, one bloke to gaff, and you've got 3 guys on the rods. So
fantastic.
It's awesome, and actually very cost effective on fuel too.
I suppose it would be.
We're only running through about 350 litres of diesel a day, so I split that between a crew of 5, and it's actually cheaper than I was taking my cruise craft down over the last 4 or 5 years. Yeah.
Okay. And the fish you caught, what'd you catch?
Bluefin tuna.
Yeah.
We've been getting the tuna, the school fish around. Obviously, we've been hunting for those bigger fish down there, but the school fish we've been catching anywhere between 14 kilo and 20 kilo. We have got a couple of albies around the 12 to 14 kilo. Nice. And something we did a little bit different last week was a bit of bottom dropping in 150 metres, and we got some Tassie trumpeter.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Portland's just amazing. Dan, it's the versatility of that place of fish.
Yeah.
You know, you've been fishing there yourself over the last few years.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's just getting better and better.
Yeah, and look, it's good because having the shelf there, even at this time of year, you'll still get things like makos if you want to do a drift, and obviously bottom dropping, which is becoming more and more popular. Guys buying the big electric reels and getting down there and, you know, dropping in 400, 500 metres of water. So plenty to do down there. It's just taking the time and going.
Your staff member Jason actually caught a mako yesterday down there.
Yeah, that's
Beautiful.
right. Got a couple of photos this morning. The boys are pretty happy. So yeah, it's good stuff.
And a school shark.
Did they?
Yeah, they got a school shark as well. So.
Fantastic. Now, you caught those bluefin and you also cooked those bluefin, because I stood there for nearly 10 hours filming it. Let's have a little bit of a sneak peek of what's coming up on our show soon.
Liquid smoke, another little ingredient I tried last time I smoked it, and it actually came up a treat. So we're going to use this again today. We've got half a bottle of that. Sesame oil and chili. And I'm going to do, as I said before, a little experiment with this and use the char soy just on a couple of the pieces. That way, if it doesn't work out, we don't have to worry that we've wasted too much. But you never know, it could be good. So there we have it, all ready to go. Let this sit now for an hour and a half to 2 hours. If it's a day where you're actually not getting much wind around, good idea is to bring a fan out and fan dry it. It will help with the process of getting that nice sheen on it. Now we've got a couple of things we can do in the meantime while we're waiting for this to dry. I've already prepared the heat beads in the smoker here, ready to go. So in about an hour and a half or half an hour before we're ready to actually put the fish into the smoker, we'll get this going, give the heat beads half an hour of time to get ready and nice and hot, and we're ready to fire up. Other than that, mate of mine, Red Eye, that we obviously got the fish with last week, he's a bit of a chili freak, so he wanted me to do a few extra pieces with extra chili on them for him. So here you go, Red Eye. These are all for you, mate. How good's that look? Once again, the waiting game. We've got to wait for another hour and a half, 2 hours, get it in there, another 2 hours, and then we're ready to try some.
G'day, I'm Dan from Peninsula Total Tackle, and what I was going to talk to you today about was just a few squid jigs which have been doing very well in our local area down here on the Mornington Peninsula. To start with, I picked out a range of colours which I feel sort of cover you throughout the course of any given day's fishing, which is what you really want. So to start with, I've got a few Haramitsus here. Now these jigs aren't new, they've been out for a few years, but they are tried and tested colours, and three that have done very, very well in our local area. The EWC is an absolute classic. It's a very natural baitfish looking colour. It's also a translucent jig, so when you actually hold it up to the light, you do get, it's essentially got a red body on the inside underneath the material wraps, so you do get a very, very sort of slight overtone of red colour or light coming through the jig. The other two here, you've got one which is the BG, which has sort of essentially got a gold underfoil, and then you've got the EBR, which has got a red underfoil. Now, the foil on jigs plays a really important part and is an essential component of when to fish the jig. So the general theory goes that in low light conditions, guys will use a red foil, something like this EBR here. As you get into mid-morning or maybe even late afternoon, sometimes these gold foils work. And as I said, I can personally vouch for these three being very good jigs sticking to that time pattern. Another couple which have done very, very well is the Shimano Sephir in 14T, which is essentially a white or a UV colour. Now, Shimano are not the only ones doing white jigs these days. There's plenty of these guys on the market, but this has been an absolute killer over the last 12 months, and I have to say probably one of our biggest selling jigs. The other one is a bright, which, you know, these days I probably fish less than I fish more natural looking colours, but if there's one bright I'd go to, it's probably this Gancraft here, which has been an absolute killer, and I think this last winter probably accounted for my biggest squid that I caught down off Portsea. So there's three Haramitsus and a couple of other jigs which on any days fishing out here on the bay, if I was going for some calamari, that's what I'd be taking.
Jay, the tuna that you actually caught there, Paul, and what did you use? What lures, what colours were going well?
Well, generally a spread of X-wraps and skirts.
Yep.
My favourite X-wrap is the purple one, which is actually called a red sardine. I prefer to use it in the size 20 as opposed to the 30. I just find that they swim and track a little bit better. So that's my number one go-to X-wrap. Obviously the Jack's lures, the Rigid Reggie. Fantastic lure. That's caught quite a few fish for us over the last few seasons. And the Meridian in the Demon number 5. Really good lure that a lot of the charter blokes are using down there and smacking the fish with. So,
fantastic.
But you know, when the fish are on, they'll pretty much take anything.
Yep.
But when the fish are fine, when it's hard fishing out there, you've really got to fine tune your spread.
Okay. Now during the week, I finally got my new Honda.
Yep.
My new Blast, 30% more horsepower out of the hull, Dan. Pretty impressive stuff. Here's a little bit about that, and the guys are going to talk about Dr. H.
Okay, so at the moment, Charlie, we're cruising at around about 3,500 RPM. It's a little bit rough out there. But Dr. H is analysing how much fuel your BF225 is using, and at this cruise range you're using around about 24 litres of fuel per hour. So it's quite economical. Hi, we're back again. We're changing the motor. Will's doing a great job taking this motor off. It's a BF225 V6 outboard engine. He's taking this off and putting the latest and greatest motor on. The reason being is this motor is not new enough to be compatible with NMEA 2000 devices. So we're going to take this whole motor off, we're going to put a brand new motor on, and we're going to go out and we're going to get some fuel performance data that we can share with you viewers.
Today we've had great success with putting on the new prop. We went up a size bigger and that actually got the engine closer to the full RPM range of the engine. Every engine's different, every boat's different with weight, speed, etc. So, you know, sometimes it's better to put a larger prop on it, sometimes better to put an extra blade on the prop, go smaller, go bigger. It's a bit of a science. So always good to check it out with your dealer. But if you need to know any more, come and see us at the Honda stands at any of the boat shows Australia-wide.
Well, how's that, my new Honda? Here's Con.
So we've been towing now for about 20 minutes. Our two ropes, as you can see up the back here, have slowly come together. Our net's moving this way at about 2-3 knots. The fish is being balled up. We're about to catch, we're about to load, we're about to drop into the hopper. We'll show you what we've caught. It's the end of the process. Bringing up the net now. The bolt, the bag of the net. We're about to dump it, find out what's in it. Do a bit of sorting.
You know, going fishing for squid in the early hours of the morning or at night is a great time to be going fishing for them. Remember to use the dark coloured jigs for the silhouette, but the most important thing to remember is your distance over ground. Use your GPS, it will tell you how fast you're going. If you're going too fast, you're not going to catch squid. Usually under 1 is the way to go. So use your GPS, you can't go wrong. That's what they're for. Squid fishing at night or early hours of the morning, I love it.
Hi guys, Con Pennietis again from Fish House. Today we've got dusky flathead from Gippsland Lakes areas, and we're going to show you how to skin and bone them. So we're going to do this quick. Sharp knife, filleting knife, holding from the head, behind the second fin, first, second, down, across. You get 2 fillets. Down, across again. This you can discard or you can make soup with it, it's up to you. Now we're going to take the bones out from the centre. Bones out. Either side, you cut either side of the bones, hold on to the bones and pull them off. And that's the bones out. Same as this one. Hold it, other side. So either side of the bone, it's that simple. And then you hold the bone with the edge of your knife and you pull the bone off. And that's the bones gone. Now we're going to skin them. Hold the edge of the tail and just run your knife along. Pull the skin and push the knife at the same time. And that's it. That's how easy it is. And that way you get all the belly. A lot of people lose the belly. There's nothing wrong with the belly. It's beautiful flesh. So you get all the fish. You're not throwing away too much of the fish. You're getting maximum return. And there you have it. Give them a wash. Boneless flathead fillets, ready to go into your pan, flour and fry or batter. Delicious. One of our best table fish. Flathead. Enjoy.
Right, there you go. Now, Dan, we are in the cooler months of the year.
Yep.
But as you say, and we all know, the fishing doesn't stop in the peninsula, does it? Now, the snapper. Where do we go to find snapper, and what should we do?
Look, the areas that guys will still fish right through winter for snapper are from the back of Hovel Pile, which is, I suppose, at the eastern end of the South Channel, and right up through that line, through 21 metres off Mount Martha, is a very popular area. The other area, if you really want to get out there and target reds, is basically heading up toward the Mussel Farm, which I suppose is on the northeast of Mud Island, and just making sure you use your sounder, which is the key thing. Honestly, at this time of year, it's not worth stopping unless you find marks on the sounder. So that's good stuff. But look, the other two absolute stalwarts of winter are salmon fishing down at Gunnamatta. Yep. And look, this season's already started off really well. In fact, right through summer we had good salmon this year, but beaches are already getting pretty busy. And guys are spinning lures, which is one of the big changes we've really seen in the last 2 or 3 years with the back beach or the surf scene over winter, is that a lot of guys are making the change to 9-foot graphite rods and spinning, your 40-gram lasers and that sort of thing, which is great. And it also gives you a bit of exercise, go for a wander down the beach, but enables you really to locate fish as opposed to just sitting there with your bait rods in waiting for them to swim past. So that's a good thing.
The King George whiting?
Yeah, absolutely. Last year we had a cracker of a season right from really May, June, July and even into August. Yeah. Predominantly focused over around the St Leonards and Port Arlington area, which is all still very accessible if you launch your boat down at, say, Sorrento. But that we had an absolute massive fish congregated in that area, and honestly, it really was a case of just getting out there and going for a fish, and you'd come home with some whiting.
It was fantastic, wasn't it, Jay? It was
really well, the amount of boats out there, proof is in the pudding.
That's right.
Yeah.
Of course, squid.
Squid, that's a big one. Now, this year, I'm really pleased to say, already in the lead up to winter, we had really, really good numbers of smaller squid, but heaps of them. You'd be hard pressed not to come home with some, which is a really good sign because by this time last year, they'd already started to thin out, and that late winter fishery was a bit slow last year. But as we know, every year is different, and it's really pleasing to see we've got a lot of good sized squid around at the moment. And I think right now, I'd be very surprised if it doesn't continue right throughout winter.
Now the good thing about it is having guys like Dan right on your doorstep before you go actually fishing. You pop in and have a chat, pick up some stuff, and off you go. Now, your time's over winter, what is it?
Yeah, mate, look, we reduce our hours a little bit over winter. 9 till 5:30 Monday to Thursday, 9 till 6 on a Friday, 9 till 5 on a Saturday, 9 till 4 on a Sunday. So 7 days a week, we're here, we can help you out.
Cool. And comps? You got some comps coming up?
Yeah, mate, we'll be running our traditional salmon comp, which is starting this week. So we run it through May, June, July, and basically it's a case of catch a fish, bring it into the shop. We run it on an honesty system, so we weigh it, take a photo here, and first prize for heaviest salmon takes all. So
fantastic. Well, that's it. That's a wrap up. Of course, we've got the boat show coming up. Come up and see us, but we've got our show now. New time. Savage Seas Adventures on June the 6th at 8:30. Not 7:30 now, 8:30.
Yep.
Really looking forward to it. Dan's part of it. We'll be at the boat show, of course. Come up and say hello. We'll see you next time.
See you guys.
Turn it up.